Hi everyone. Want to welcome you to week 3 of our course. In this video, I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of the things that we're going to be doing in week 3. So first of all, let's go to our classroom. If we scroll down here to week 3, you'll see you have a few things due this week. You have a discussion board post due on Wednesday, one on Friday, and you also have a couple of things you're going to be submitting on Sunday. Oh, and a real quick note here. This week, I'm going to be grading your final drafts of writing project 1. My goal is to get that done within a week. I hope to get your grades back to you by Sunday or Monday of this coming week, or of next week, I should say. It could take me longer than that, though. So just be patient. I'll get those back to you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, we're going to be starting on writing project 2. Another note I have about writing project 1, if you end up not liking the grade that you got for writing project 1, you will be able to revise it based on the feedback that I give you, and your grade will almost certainly improve if you revise. So if you are worried about the grade that you're going to get on writing project 1, don't stress about it too much. You'll have the opportunity to make your work even better. So in week 3 here, this is going to be an intro to writing project 2. You're going to be watching a couple of videos that are going to relate to writing project 2, and doing a few other things that will help you get started on that project. I'm going to make a separate video in which I give an overview of what writing project 2 is. So you can look out for that. If we go here to our first task, your first task is to read the assignment sheet for writing project 2. You're going to find that over here under writing projects. Moving on. Your next task, 3.2, is to read the chapter on analyzing texts. The main thing that you're going to be doing in writing project 2 is analyzing a couple of advertisements, a couple of pictures that you have found. And so reading this chapter on how to analyze things is going to be helpful. There are some examples in that chapter of analyses that people have written. So it would be a good idea to take a look at those. And we also have a tip here that it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to look ahead at the student samples for week 5, which also show examples of what what writing project 2 is going to look like. After you read this chapter, though, there's nothing you need to do with this. There's no assignment that you need to submit. This is just reading that should help you complete writing project 2. Moving on. Now, this may not make a ton of sense right now. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate video about what writing project 2 is. But for task 3.3, you should watch at least one of these videos. It's up to you. You can watch both. They're both very good. I've seen both of them numerous times, at least 4 times each at this point. But you only need to watch one. Up here, you'll see transcripts of the video, meaning that you can read along with what is being said in the video. So if following along and listening to someone talk in a movie isn't really your thing, you can also read what the videos are saying, so that could be helpful. This one, Killing Us Softly 4, this one focuses on how women are often objectified or sexualized in advertisements and in the media in general. And in this one by Jackson Katz, Tough Guys, this one also focuses on media, and it focuses a little bit less on advertisements and more on media in general. But he addresses toxic masculinity, unrealistic expectations that are put on men, and how those things are often directly connected to violent behavior. So those are your two options. Let's move on to our next task here. For 3.4, this is the first actual work that you will be doing. You have a discussion board post due by 11:59 on Wednesday. And what you need to do here is to summarize one key idea or concept from one of the videos, and then also provide an example that helps demonstrate or illustrate that concept. So you do not need to summarize the entire video, although I will say, please make sure to watch the entire video that you choose. Doing so will be important for your success in writing project 2. But for this discussion board post, it's fine for you to just focus in on one concept that they talk about. And here's an example for you. For Friday, your second post, you will just be replying to at least 2 peers. Make sure that you reply to 2 peers and that your replies are thorough and thoughtful. If they are too short or you're not really saying much in your replies, then there's a good chance that you may lose some points for the assignment. All right, task 3.5. In task 3.5, you're going to start looking for the images that you want to analyze for writing project 2. You can just use Google, that's completely fine, but there are also some websites here that you can take a look at. And then a whole list of helpful hints for finding your image. I am not going to go through all of these points right now. You should read these on your own. But some of the big ones are you need to make sure that it is an ad, so it needs to be selling something. It also needs to be from a real, legitimate company. So it can't be from a fake company or a fake ad from a real company. It needs to be legitimate. I also need to be able to tell what the product is that they are selling. So it could be an ad, but if it's not clear what they are selling, it probably won't work super well for this project. Your images also need to be related to each other in some way. You should not pick 2 entirely different images. So maybe pick 2 images that are both selling the same product or are from the same company or are doing similar things. You could choose 2 images that are both presenting women in a very similar fashion. That would be all right. Let's see here. Is there anything else that I need to? Those are the big ones. But again, I would read these list of tips on your own. Moving on. Here, you're going to write a bit of an analysis of your images. So these are things, this will get you, if you haven't written an analysis before, for it's been a long time, these are good sort of first steps. These are going to get you to think critically about what is going on in the image. And it's also going to get you to start thinking about how your images relate to the documentary that you watched. And this is going to be one of the things that you turn in on Sunday. And then we take a look at our last page here. For 10 points, you need to submit a couple of things. One, you need to submit the writing that you did for task 3.6, what we just looked at. And you also need to submit the 2 images that you're going to focus on for writing project 2. So both of those things, really 3 things. So you need 2 images and then what you wrote for task 3.6, and that is due on Sunday by 11:59. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what we'll be doing this week. Feel free to contact me if you have questions. And like I said, I'm going to make a video where I talk more in depth about what writing project 2 is.